In a small African village named Kasongo, where mud houses lined the dusty paths and the jungle stood only a few steps away, life moved slowly under the blazing afternoon sun. Near the market's edge, a poor cobbler sat inside his narrow shop, repairing torn sandals with hands rough from years of labor. The air carried the hum of traders, the cry of children, and the rustle of leaves from the forest beyond. But suddenly, silence gripped the village. Birds stopped chirping, and even the stray dogs vanished. The cobbler raised his head, uneasy at the stillness. Then, a shadow stretched across his shop floor. A lion, thin, ribs jutting, limping heavily, stood in the doorway. Its golden mane glowed in the sunlight, and its tired eyes fixed on him. Fear seized the cobbler's heart as the king of the jungle entered his world. The lion did not pounce, nor bare its fangs. Instead, under the harsh daylight streaming through the open doorway, it lowered its massive head and let out a slow, ragged breath. Its body trembled, each inhale sounding heavier than the last. The cobbler's gaze fell on the beast's paw, swollen, bleeding, and raw. A deep wound, dark with dust and flies, throbbed with every movement. This was no predator on the hunt. This was a creature broken by pain. The cobbler's heart pounded, sweat dripping down his temples. Yet, as their eyes met, something shifted. In those amber eyes he saw not rage, but silent desperation, a plea for help that words could never carry. The cobbler's first instinct was to run, yet his legs refused to move. Terror gripped him, but pity rose just as strong. The afternoon sun streamed through the cracked roof, casting sharp light across the lion's body. Every rib showed, trembling with each shallow breath. He swallowed hard, forcing his shaking hands to remain still. The beast was suffering, not threatening. Instead of screaming or fleeing, the cobbler leaned forward slightly, whispering words he himself didn't fully understand. "Easy, easy, my friend." His voice trembled, carried by the silence of the bazaar outside. The lion flicked its ears but did not move closer. For a moment, man and beast stood locked in fragile trust, bound by pain and hesitant compassion. The cobbler's hands trembled as he reached toward a small clay bowl of water kept beside his tools. Every second felt heavy, the sound of his own heartbeat echoing louder than the marketplace outside. The lion let out a faint growl, low and guttural, but made no move to attack. Slowly, he dipped a clean cloth into the cool water, wrung it, and placed it carefully on the sunlit floor in front of the beast. Dust sparkled in the light, dancing between man and predator. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, to his disbelief, the lion shifted its weight, lifted its swollen paw, and lowered it gently onto the cloth, as if accepting the poor cobbler's offering of help. With trembling fingers, the cobbler leaned closer, the midday light falling directly on the lion's injured paw. The wound was deep, skin torn and swollen, blood glistening bright red against golden fur. His breath caught as he spotted the cause, a long, rusted thorn buried cruelly in the flesh. His mind screamed danger. If he touched it, the beast might strike. Yet the lion did not move. Its amber eyes stayed fixed on him, steady and unblinking. The cobbler wiped away the blood with a damp cloth, each stroke careful, respectful. The lion's chest rose and fell, but its body remained still, choosing trust over rage, surrendering its pain to the hands of a poor man. The cobbler took a deep breath, wrapped the cloth tightly around the thorn, and with one swift pull, tore it free. The lion flinched, claws scraping lightly against the wooden floor, and fresh blood trickled down, staining the shop's dusty ground. For a heartbeat, silence froze the air. Then the lion released a long, trembling exhale, half a sigh, half a groan of relief. Its massive shoulders eased, its gaze softening under the golden afternoon sun. The cobbler sat back, chest heaving, astonished he was still alive. Yet something inside him shifted. Fear was gone. In its place was a quiet connection, unspoken but powerful. For the first time, he no longer saw a beast, he saw a soul. Outside the small shop, A crowd had gathered under the burning midday sun. Villagers shielded their eyes with their hands, staring in disbelief at the sight before them. Whispers rippled through the bazaar like wind through dry leaves. "Surely the lion will kill him," some muttered, clutching their children close. Others insisted the beast was cursed, sent by the jungle to punish men. Yet not one person dared to step forward. From the dusty street, they watched as the poor cobbler knelt beside the wounded lion. The sight was surreal, man and predator together in fragile peace. Time itself seemed to halt, the tense silence holding every heart captive beneath the glaring African sun. The cobbler slowly rose to his feet, motioning toward the doorway. To everyone's astonishment, the lion followed him, limping into the open street. The blazing sun poured down, heat shimmering off the dusty ground. With trembling hands, the cobbler brought out a small clay bowl of water and a few scraps of bread. He placed them carefully in front of the beast. The crowd held its breath. The lion lowered its head, lapping the water with slow, heavy gulps, then nibbled at the bread as though it were a gift fit for a king. Finally, it lay down beside the shop, its great mane glowing in the sunlight, like a weary traveler resting at last. As the long afternoon wore on, strength slowly returned to the lion's weary body. It shifted, stretched its powerful frame, and stood tall under the golden light. The cobbler stepped back, watching in awe, his hands still stained with the lion's blood. The beast turned its head toward the distant forest, the dark green tree leaves swaying in the hot breeze. For a brief moment, it paused, then pressed its nose gently against the cobbler's trembling hands, a silent gesture of gratitude. The crowd gasped softly, but no one dared to move. With a final glance, the lion strode away, each step stronger than the last, until its golden figure melted into the embrace of the waiting jungle. The lion vanished into the wilderness, its golden mane flickering one last time in the sunlight before disappearing among the trees. A hush lingered over the bazaar, then voices rose, carrying awe and disbelief. Word spread swiftly, how a poor cobbler, with nothing but courage and compassion, had healed the wounded king